Not very long ago, it was considered that the Iron Age started in Anatolia, that's in Turkey, something around 1400 1300 BCE. And on 23rd of last month, Mr. Stalin, the chief minister of Tamil Nadu, presented a report in which he stated that the Iron Age in Tamil Nadu started in 3345 BCE, which is something around 5500 years ago from today. And this is a unique statement, a unique breakthrough, and it puts all the perspectives which were earlier told to us. All the questions are raised on all those perspectives, all the studies which we have studied in our academics till now. Hello viewers, my name is Amit Mahajan. Namaskaram, welcome to all of you. I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Layman History and Geopolitics. Friends, I request all of you to kindly have a look at this video.
முக்கியமான அறிவிப்பு ஒன்று வெளியிட போகிறதா நேற்று சொல்லியிருந்தேன். தமிழ் நிலப்பரப்பிலிருந்து தான் இரும்பின் காலம் தொடங்குச்சு. இந்திய நாட்டுக்கு மட்டுமல்ல, உலகுக்கே மறுபடியும் சொல்கிறேன், தமிழ் நிலப்பரப்பிலிருந்து தான் இரும்பின் காலம் தொடங்குச்சு.
What a proud moment for all of us. All these questions which were raised on Indian civilization, they have been put to rest. See, what the Europeans, the Western historians considered was that Europe or the West is always ahead. If it is said that in Anatolia, Iron Age started something around 1400, 1300 BCE, India, it had to be certainly to be later, something around 1000 BCE or 900 BCE. But these excavations, these findings have turned this entire tract upside down. So let's start with our study for today. So friends, it was like in 1863, there was a person named Robert Bruce. He was a geologist, part archaeologist, and in Pallavaram near Chennai, he discovered some stone figures around there. Being a geologist, he understood that these are not simple stones, these are some sort of tools. And what he realized was that these were stone axes actually from the Paleolithic period. Then he went to a place named as Adaripakkam, I think it's Adirampakkam, near Madras of that time, what we call Chennai today. There also he found such stones. So these stones were basically the stone axes used by Paleolithic period people of those times. And as a result, in India, we had a civilization, we came to know about a civilization which existed some 200,000 years ago. And this is one of the oldest civilizations till now in human history. And this civilization existed in Tamil Nadu. And it is one of the oldest civilizations, the oldest civilization in India discovered till now, and one of the oldest civilizations in the world. When we go to the Sangam era, we know about the rich Sangam literature. And Sangam literature highly talks about a rich Tamil civilization. But then we had records, but we never had something of a face value, something that proves that there was indeed a rich Tamil civilization which existed during the during the Sangam period. So what happened was that there was a person named F. Jagger. He was a German. He was in Tamil Nadu for some work. By chance, he came through, by accident, I would say, Mr. F. Jagger came through Adichallanur, and he discovered a civilization around there. So what that person did was that he collected all the artifacts with him, took them to Berlin, and the records he handed over to the state. And it was Mr. Alexander Ray of Archaeological Survey of India. He started work on Adichallanur site. He worked there from 1898 to 1904, and in that process, he unearthed many objects around there. He unearthed something around 5,000 artifacts from that very place. He used to say that this is a burial site, but then there would be a habitation site also, but he was never able to trace the habitation site around there. And what happens is that Adichallanur is basically the oldest Iron Age burning site in India today. Burning site in the sense, as we are going to talk about this topic, I'll be talking about two things. One would be a habitation site. Habitation site means where there were populations where the people used to reside, and then I would be talking about a burning site. So now this burning site actually, this burning site would be a place where the people were buried at that time. During that time in Tamil society, the people were not cremated. They were buried in urns, huge urns. So you've seen those urns, those clay pots, small ones. So it was not like those small clay pots. They were huge in size. Something their diameter faced their mouth diameter would be something around 6 meters. Such big, such wide urns they used to be, and these were the burial sites for the people who died. So Mr. Alexander Ray said that these are basically the burying sites for the dead. There would be habitation site also, but he was not able to uncover that site. So he studied these sites and he was able to unearth something around 5,000 artifacts from those places. Some were, he found skeletal remains in them. Then he found some urns where there were a mother and a child which were buried together. Then there were some secondary burying also, in the sense that a person had died somewhere, he was buried somewhere else, and he or she had been brought to this site and reburied again. And along with these skeletal remains, he found iron objects, he found bronze objects, he found gold items, precious stones. So that would be the pattern of people by of those times, that when they died, their items were buried by along with them at that time when they died. So what happens is, in 1905 he stopped this work, and it so happened that during these 100 years, 1905 to 2005, no work took place. In 2005, Archaeological Survey of India returned to the site with better tools, and what they discovered were the habitation sites also, that people used to live there. And where what they found were they found kilns around there, and then they found that there were workshops also around there, bead workshops around there, then kilns also there. And what a peculiar pattern they found was that it was actually this Adichallanur site is on the banks of river Purnai. That's I would mention that there is another name to this river, uh, Thambarbarni River. It is also mentioned in Mahabharata, Ramayana, and the Sangam literature also, Thambarbarni River. So what happened was that they discovered that there were habitation sites also. Burying sites were discovered earlier by Alexander Reyes. They worked around there, and when they conducted study of these skeletons, they came to know that most of the skeletons, only 8% to 10% of the skeletons were of the Dravid lineage. Rest were rest skeletons were of the people from different lineages. Some were from Africa, some from Europe, some from East Asia, Middle East. And what they realized was that it is said that the Pandya kings of that time employed Greek and Roman mercenaries in their armies as their private bodyguards also. And so when they would have died, they would have been buried in these places. And one peculiar aspect of this thing also is that when the skeletal remains were subjected to medical studies to ascertain what sort of diseases these people of those times suffered, it was discovered that most of the skeletons had a bacterial infection above the eye, something around this area of the eyebrows. And it was realized that from 25 kilometers from Adichallanur, there is a place named Korkai. Korkai was an ancient port city. Korkai pearls were famous the world over, and people all over the world came to trade here. Some of them used to stay in India itself, in Tamil Nadu itself, and when they would have been died, they were buried around there in these places. And the basic thing is that bacterial infection used to affect people who were deep sea divers or the sailors. So they would have actually hunted for those Korkai pearls, which were very famous world over, and they would have got these diseases which was the traces of which were found in these skeletons. So such was the richness of the Adichallanur site. It is the biggest Iron Age burial site in entire India till date. And it is said that it is something around 3500 years old. The carbon dating of the things, the articles which were recovered from there, it has proved that these some of the one of the grain of rice or the paddy which was unearthed from there, it has been carbon dated to 1155 BCE, which is something around 3500 years old. Isn't that amazing? In 2015, ASI unearthed another place which was Keeladi. Now this is close to Madurai, and it is uh, basically on this site what they found was that a civilization existed in this place, and they found beads and what you say colorful stones, glass, carnelian in high quantity at some places, in unusual quantity in some places. And it was so discovered that Keeladi was basically a warehouse or a market for precious items, precious stones or beads. And along with that, then they found potter sheds where script similar to Indus Valley script was inscribed. Potter sheds were inscribed with script similar to graffiti on Indus Valley scripts. So this is where I think, as we all remember, Mr. Stalin had declared an incentive of $1 million for a person who discovers, who deciphers basically the Indus Valley script. So it was related. Now the thing is, coming to these excavations, what has happened as regards this report? This report, which was forwarded by, put on dais by, mentioned by Mr. Stalin, it is named Antiquity of Iron, Recent Radiometric Dates from Tamil Nadu, authored by K. Rajan and R. Sivanantham. So this report basically says that they have, it mentions about five sites, and these five sites are Kilnamandi, uh, Mangadu, Mailandum Parai, forgive my pronunciation, then it's Adichallanur and Sivagalai. Now, what happened is in all these places, the dates range from something around 685 BCE to 3345 BCE. Now, the carbon dating of the samples taken from the Sivagalai site, the carbon dating has been done from reputed laboratories, one of the laboratories in Florida, then two laboratories in India, and the margin of error in these carbon datings is only 30 years. So when earlier on archaeologists used to excavate something, it used to be like there were error of margin of error used to be huge, but in this case, due to scientific leap, the margin of error has been reduced to just 30 years. The archaeologists are very sure that the Iron Age did exist in India, and it was very historic, something around 2500 BCE to 2800 BCE. They do agree on it. 3345 BC, they are saying that we need to investigate further on this. But then it is a fact that one grain of rice has been found to have this date. The burial sites around there in Sivagalai have again given traces of objects along with the skeletons, and this has proved to be a record breaking historic research on part of Indians and Tamils, because it proves that India was very high, very structured, very literate was the Tamil society of that time. When we talk about the sophistication of Tamil society at that time, we need to talk about one thing is In 1st century AD, Damascus forts were famous all around the world. They were considered very brilliant as regards their strength and breaking. They would not break very easily. They were very strong. And where did the iron sheets of these swords come from? The iron for these swords came from Tamil Nadu. It came from Adichallanur, or a place named Erode. The name I've forgotten. So basically, this iron was melted around here. It was forged around here, and then the iron was sent to Damascus for making of the swords. Now, uh, these swords, the iron was also known as wood steel, and wood steel basically comes from wood, and it would come from the Tamil word urk, which would basically means melt. So during that time, melting iron in such a way would require high skill, as it is required everywhere in every trade. But at that time, having such techniques that you are smelting iron at specific temperature and making it perfect proves that Tamil society of that time was highly literate, highly sophisticated, and that is the very reason they were able to accomplish such feats. And as regards, I've told you about the people coming from world over, the Greeks were employed here, Romans were employed here. It means that the Tamil society of that time had relations pan world. Tamil Nadu was the center of Indian civilization at that time. As regards India, as we all know that we've been studying about the Harappan civilization since I was in school, and our view was very much focused on Harappan civilization, that this is the start of the Indian civilization. But then all these findings prove that there was another culture thriving in India, which was in southern India and Tamil Nadu. And this culture was basically about the Iron Age. Harappan civilization was about the Bronze Age. So, as we all know, Iron Age comes after the Bronze Age. Bronze Age is earlier, Iron Age is the next step in it. Now, as regards Bronze Age, we can see that the forging copper was easily available in northern India, around the areas in Rajasthan, and so the Harappans used copper for advancing into Bronze Age. And as regards southern India, as regards Tamil Nadu, we can see that iron was available around in Tamil Nadu. We know that there are various iron mines in Tamil Nadu. So the people around there proceeded with iron and built their iron civilization using the iron tools. We've found iron swords, we've found iron tools in Tamil Nadu, which are literally thousands of years old. And it proves that the pinnacle of Indian civilization, where the Indian civilization started, it's not a question. All these civilizations were parallel. You see, Harappan civilization was there, then there are various sites in northern India also, in Kashmir, in Gulf Karal, Maski in Karnataka, then there is a site in Maharashtra, and then we have Tamil Nadu, we have various sites along the river beds of Vaigai River, uh, and then Purnai River, Kaveri River Delta. There are various sites which need to be unearthed, and they will answer our queries regarding where how India progressed at that time. And as regards the specific civilizations, we must understand that they were parallel. It was not that Harappan civilization came at one time and it was followed by the Tamil civilization. No, these theories have been put to rest with these excavations. All these civilizations were running parallelly. The only thing we need to investigate around here is what was the link between these civilizations. As we know that, as I've mentioned around in my video itself, in Keeladi also, graffiti marks have been found where Indus Valley script has been mentioned, and they have been also found in Sivagalai also. Sivagalai, where 3345 BCE Iron Age has been proved. It is a moment of rejoice for India. It is a moment of rejoice for all the archaeologists. Let us be proud of our heritage. Let us be proud of our Tamil heritage, and let us take pride that Iron Age indeed did start in India. It was not the West that started it. It was the Tamil Nadu, the people of Tamil Nadu at that time who started the Iron Age. The art of smelting iron in high degree temperatures in furnaces was indeed being accomplished by the Tamils of that time. It is a fact. And see, as regards government, I would talk about one thing. In 2020, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, had allocated something around 3,150 crores for the development of five sites, archaeological sites, including Adichallanur. And she had declared that in 2021 she had also visited Adichallanur and said that it would be developed as an iconic site, and a museum would be built over it. She had laid the foundation stone of it, but it's 2025 today, and nothing has been done in that respect, that regard. It is the state government that has declared that will build a museum, not on the site where central government is building, but they'll build another museum where the artifacts from Adichallanur would be shown, exhibited, and also the artifacts which have been taken from Adichallanur to Egmore Museum in Chennai, they would also be exhibited at this site itself. I would like to take this moment to congratulate Tamil Nadu government for putting in efforts, for putting money into archaeology. They in 2024 budget also they had earmarked something around 25.65 crores for the excavations for the state archaeological department. This is the very boost which is required for archaeology to go ahead, because archaeology requires lots of money. It requires state patronage, state interest. And we, if we are proud of our history, we are proud of our identity as Tamils are, this creates a lot of momentum. These sites come on the tourist map, and the state economy gets a boost. People come to have an interest in the history of a place, and it can only be had if states provide patronage to such sites. So it, I would indeed, now I would talk about last thing here. I would talk about the scripts around here. See, there are two Brahmis. One is a Tamil Brahmi, and there is an Ashokan Brahmi. Ashokan Brahmi, as we all know, is mentioned on Ashokan edicts, and Tamil Brahmi is the script which was earlier used on to write Tamil. Now, this script is, its marks are quite identical to the script of Harappan civilization, and this is what has to be deciphered. And that's the very reason Mr. M.K. Stalin had said that he had announced an award of reward of actually $1 million for the persons who deciphers the Harappan Valley script. So I believe it is a moment for pride for all of us. Let us hail the great Tamil civilization for the great gift it has given to all of us. The proof that Iron Age indeed did start in India. We, as I've also already mentioned at the start of the video, 2000 year 2000 years old, 200,000 years old stone axes found in Tamil Nadu. Oldest civilized human habitation found in Tamil Nadu. Now the Iron Age starting in Tamil Nadu. It's a moment of pride for all of us, and we as Indians should mark this as the start of the solid identity for all of us. That was all for from me for today. I thank you all of you to kindly thank you all of you to for watching my video. I also request all of you to kindly like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel, Layman History and Geopolitics. Namaskaram, vanakkam to all of you. Thank you.